right. Think you guys can hear me okay. Waiting on Deborah to come in. We will be back with you in just a second whenever she comes back in. Hey there, Deborah. How are you?
Okay, was connected to the wrong one. I was like, let me go back and see if I did it right. I didn't, but I got it
Oh,
right now. I'm here.
that's all right. Hey, we're trying to do some different stuff this morning. Let's see how we look on YouTube on our live. There we go. I've created a background, but I don't know what happened to it. Let me see if I can add that back in.
Your background is so different than yours.
Well, I had made a background as an overlay. Let me see if this shows it. Yeah, when I do that, it ends up cutting us out. So, oh well, we are learning in the process. Thank you so much for being here
Yes,
today. I'm
we
glad we are
are.
working out some of these kinks and just looking a little bit more professional. And anyway, we have a new schedule lined up for Nine Lives Energy. If you missed the shout out that I gave on Monday, I'm going to kind of do a recap of what our theme of the week is going to be. If you missed my presentation on feng shui, make sure that you check that out because it's going to show you how to energize your life. My name is Chrissy Smith, and I'm the host of Nine Lives Energy, and we help you energize your body from the inside out. A few supplements that I have been taking for a few years, and ones that have really helped me get to my optimal health. As a health and fitness professional for 25 years, I only focused on the physical aspect, but there's so much more that connects us to our soul being, and that is our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. One of the first products that I started using back in 2021 was the Body Align bracelet and the EMF stickers that I put on my phone and also on my computer. It helps protect your body from the harmful effects of EMF radiation. Another product that I started using last year is the redox signaling molecules. They've just started a new product on their line called the revitalizing mask, and it is not the mask that we wore in 2020, but it is a clay mask. And I can't believe that they have actually taken these molecules and got them to stabilize in another product. So pretty happy about this. I used it last night. People have been asking me what I'm doing to look so young, and it is because of these products in combination together. So we are on our schedule for this week with WOOS Day. I'm so fortunate to have met Deborah Robinson last year, and she is a local astrologer in our community. And it is something that has piqued my interest over the last few months, probably has piqued my interest over the last decade of my life. But I finally have just stepped out on a limb and say, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. This is where I want to share my information with the world. So we have a new moon coming up in Taurus this coming Friday on May 19th. So Deborah Robinson, please tell us what we can expect with all these energies that are going to be in the house of Taurus this coming Friday. How are you today?
I am doing spectacular. You know what? One of my friends who is 89 now, she always, and when you ask her that question, she always says super. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it in honor of her. Super, because we do need our elders. We do need our wisdom speakers that impart into our lives. So I just want to honor all of our ancestors today. And I tell you what, you got me fired up because when I looked at your video the other day in regards to feng shui in your home and how you had innately already did it when you were looking at the different compartments of the process of the feng shui information that you were sharing with us. And I was like, how phenomenal is that? Because the last eclipse, the solar eclipse that we had in Taurus, and it was talking about, hold on because you don't have the full picture. And it was also saying tapping into what we are feeling. And so, bravo for you for letting your intuition guide you. Yes, you share with us the many challenges that you've come through, but guess what? That's what we came here to do, was to have challenges, and we signed up for it. Can you believe that? We said, I will, and we came in. And the I will belongs to your ascending sign, which is Leo. And so that's what it is, I will, but it has to do with the willingness, and because the I will is already there. And so it did, it inspired me. I was like, gosh, look at that intuition that was in operation. You just had to make some adjustments. And so making those adjustments is what keeps us flexible, so that we can move and do as the energy. And that's the big word, energy, because everything is energy. And energy is very healing. And so we are learning to experience as we get to know what energy is all about. It's been hid, it's been secrets and all that, but now the secret is open. No longer hidden because of the timing. We're ready to move into that. Okay, so when you were talking in regards to the feng shui and bringing things in order and so that energy can flow, then I started looking at, here we are in Taurus, and Taurus is this big host. It's having this big invite where all these planets have come over. You got Mercury, it went direct on the 15th, and now it's hosting Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and then it has a shadow side to it too. It's the overdue, doing way, way too much. Like we say, you're doing too much. That would be that shadow side of it, because it can't express anything but ginormous, big, magnanimous, all that. It's the Lord of plenty. It's the giving. It's the Santa Claus. It's all those things about giving and blessing. And it is actually a beautiful planet. And it's the largest planet out there that we've found yet. There's yet more to come. So we can't just put everything in a box and say that this is it, because there's too much that's being discovered that we have to know that our knowing is expanding, and you can't just stay in a place of no. That means that you are falling into intellect and reason. Again, Mercury is in Taurus. Jupiter is there. Then we have our North Node that is there. That's all about where we're going, where we're headed. We're moving. We're on the move. And then you have Uranus. So Uranus is our God mind. Mercury is our logic mind. It's that part of us that it's actually because of everything that we've been trained to do. That's why we do it, because of the logic mind, because we don't operate a lot in the Uranus mind. And the Uranus mind, it actually carries a higher pitch than what Venus is, because Venus is the ruling planet for Taurus. And so it has a higher pitch. And so it's like Venus is there traveling with the sun and going around to the different planets. And then you've got Uranus that is collective and individual at the same time. It does not conform. So, and I've said that in the past before, and conformity is a way of control. And Uranus is breaking the control that we have had. So all is well. And so you keep moving, and then all of this is housed in the second house, which is the house of economics. It's the house of material and the house of physical. The physical part of it is where we are learning to lean on divine intelligence and not just on the intellect, because you've got to have both. And we do have both. We have the intellect, and then we have this intelligence. And this intelligence, I'm relating to Uranus. And then the intellect, I'm relating to Mercury. And as I said, Mercury has gone direct. With Jupiter being in Taurus, so now things are going to become very expansive. And so when we did have the eclipse, and the eclipse was telling us, not yet, hold on, slow down, let's get some of this shadow stuff that's been hidden deep within, that's been preventing you from getting to your manifested goals that you want to, because now we all are coming independent. And we are interdependent as well. The more we become independent, which has to do with Aries, which we just actually came out of. So this is actually a beautiful time to really move into where we are moving. Listen to this. Taurus is responsible for developing awareness of their own needs and building a sense of worth. Okay. Well, when you talk about worth, you're talking about value. And so here, that is the house of value. Where do we get our value from? I read an article the other day, and if I make no mistake, so don't hold me and quote me to this, but I know it happened to somebody, that there were 2 Picasso paintings that showed up, and these things were worth millions of dollars. They've been missing for the longest, and so now they have been found. So somebody placed the value and said that this is going to be millions of dollars. And so our self-worth, we have to, or we get to realize how important we are. So that is the purpose for having it. Yes, it is a challenge, but we can do it. We have to realize that our self-actualization and our identification does not come from others. Again, that's what the intellect comes, because of the role models that have come before us to say, this is how you are. Well, no, or this is how you should be. And so, well, no. And so uncovering and discovering your own self-worth is what the house of Taurus is about. Then it's like you promote your feelings in your self-worth. You can do affirmations. You can take walks in the park. Don't forget, Taurus is an earth sign. So the earth, Mother Earth, is connecting. Her energy is going back and forth. It's dancing with us, and it wants us to tap in at this particular time to say, you put your own value on yourself. That's what it wants us to do, because in self-worth, when you've got self-worth, when nobody else can identify or define who you are or what you are, and most people go on what you are, not who you are. So we have to be mindful to make sure that we are not demonstrating what we are or what we want people to think that we are, and that true self comes through and we are who we are. And that is peace, that's love, that's healing, all of those attributes that have the Christ consciousness about them. The next one is learning how to handle money and develop gratitude. All of this is in the second house. And these visitors at this time, remember Mercury, Jupiter, the North Node, Uranus, all of them are currently in there now, and they're still going to be there on Friday. Plus the new moon, that's full go ahead. That's full, like the light is on green. Go, Jupiter, Jupiter, so money can be expanded. Can't you expand your money at this time? So we have to have receptivity, because Taurus is earth. Earth is feminine along with water. And so though that's currency, that's moving. And so, yes, here we are. We may see out in our systematic world, which consists of our government. All of that has to do with the intellect. All of that, the things that are happening there, they're scary. They're scary. It's like, oh gosh, in you all's hands, what in the world is going to happen next? I was talking to one of my friends who said that they, don't listen to the news or anything, and I honor that. And I tap in when my spirit says tap in, that there's something that I want you to hear. And so it helps me to, because now I'm very sensitive. My moon is in Pisces. Honey, you can't get no more sensitive than that. My sun is in Cancer, water, water, water. My ascendant is Cancer, water, water, water. That's feeling. So yes, I feel so much when I hear these things, my insides rumble, but then at the same time, I am learning how to integrate the intellect as well as the intelligence, because that intelligence is that unseen, that's that intuition that will cause you to move and you don't even know that you're moving, like Chrissy was talking about when with the feng shui. She shocked her own self. It was little adjustments. And so when we look into our lives and we know that we have accomplishments, we are so busy looking at what we don't do or saying what we don't do that it keeps us doing a small amount. But now that we can recognize that we can do better because we know better now, and putting these things into application is the most important thing. Getting out of the comfort zone, because Taurus, I mean, who don't like the sun shining on their back? Who doesn't like being comfortable? And there is nothing wrong with being comfortable. It's just that we're expanding our comfortability to be on the uprise, to bring our gifting forward, our creativity forward. And so as this new moon comes on Friday, and we get involved with whatever you want to do. If you want to sit quiet, write your new moon wishes out, because remember when we had the full moon, that's when we let those things dissolve, dissipate, when we're detaching from those things, so that now when the moon and the sun come together and they're in complete darkness together, and there is the vortex, there is that womb for creating what you actually see. So this is a time, it can be very lucky, because again, I just said that it rules money out, economics. And so it can either go whether it's doing too much and or whether it's not doing enough. This is the time to balance in it. If they say it's going up, then you go down. If it says going down, then you go up. You know how to go in there so that it doesn't become an emotional battle, and then you don't do anything. You just sit there like the bull in that stubborn state, which is a weakness of Taurus. But however, when we are in that high frequency, it becomes steadfastness that we're doing, and that's the complete opposite of it. And the new moon is the steadfastness of moving into that ideal space. And the beautiful thing that I like about it is, like, we are headed in a beautiful place. Now you've got Mars that's sitting in Cancer at this time, and it's still going to be there. And so it's like, don't get in a lot of water. Stay away from watery things at this particular time. Whenever Mars is in there, it is the planet that can cause accidents. And of course, we got war that's still going on. And so again, my focus is, and my prayer is during this time of war, because I know and I see who is impacted the most. It is the children and the mothers, and all the suffering that is being caused because of, I ain't understood what yet. Can we all live on this planet in a peaceful place? Can't we? I believe that we can. And the consciousness that's rising is saying so. So while everything else is being disassembled, because you got to remember now, Pluto is still in Aquarius and has not moved from the 0 degree yet. And if you remember, or if you don't, if you're brand new to this, 0 is one of the critical numbers in astrology. It's the beginning number for the house degree measurement, all the way to 29. It doesn't have 1 to 30, it's 0 to 29. 0 and 29 are considered critical numbers in critical degrees. And at the same time, they're very, 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 very powerful. So this energy that's happening. So Pluto definitely is all about transformation, regeneration. And so this morning when I picked my spot as to where I wanted to come to you from, I'm going to move my big head, as they say. I have a I have an art piece that I did, and
Tell us about it.
my daughter.
I said, tell us
What you
about that
say?
art piece. I said, tell us about that art piece.
Okay, I was. Yes. My daughter had her birthday party in 2022. And so that was one of the activities that we did. We went to this artist space and we did paint and sip. And so I did this. And so I had it sitting in the corner for the longest. And so I said, I'm going to hang this in the kitchen. I was like, well, is this really a kitchen picture? And I thought to myself, it's my picture. I hang wherever I want to.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and because of what it represents transformation, the metamorphosis of life. And this is what this is all about. Because remember when I said that Taurus is about material and it's about the physical. And when the two are integrated from a balanced perspective, then you can move throughout the airplane and move throughout and do whatever it is that you need to do. Because we think, and based on looking at the world's economics, because it's been unfair anyway, it's been unjust anyway. So it does need an overhaul. So hold on while it's being overhauled. And people are talking about AI. I saw on YouTube and I just perused by it. Just the caption made me not want to. And he was like, AI is going to be the destruction of the world. Really, people? Really? Really, people? It just shows us that there is so much brilliance on this planet. It is truly amazing. Yes, there's evil in some things, and then guess what? The opposite of it is the good of it and for our benefit. And so as we learn to take the bones out with whatever we're eating and remain the good in it, that's all we have to do is continue to do that. Now, again, going back to communication, because you've got two of the most important communication tools here. You've got Mercury in Taurus and you got Uranus. Again, that intellect and the divine intelligence, bringing a balance to it, because we, in this reality that we live in, that's what we operate off of, the intellect, okay? And so it is there for us to bring some harmony with these two thinking processes. The divine intelligence has to do with the soul, and it is causing the physical experiences that we have had on this earth to be what they were intended to be. We say we've got intentions. We're told that all the time before you meditate, before you do, make sure you have a good intention. And so the same thing, there was a plan made for us, and it was a good intention and good intentions. And to come here to be able to experience those good intentions, and we are realizing these on an individual basis as well as a collective. We are deciding to enjoy rather than have all of these other confusing and conflicting. And I'm not saying that none of that is not going to continue for a while,
Mhm.
because why? It is being destroyed. It really is. I was reading an article this morning. That one made me tear up. Yep. Water, water, water. Tear up in a minute. But it was a beautiful story. And it was about this professor. Well, she's a doctorate now. She has a doctorate degree, and this is in London. And she grew up in a house where both her parents were addicted to heroin, and also they were alcoholics. And so she went to her mother, told her mother that she was raped, and and she was 7 years old at the time, and her mother told her that she was raped by the same man too. Nothing was done. And then she heralded out how two teachers were very um, empowering for her. She said they didn't have soap in their house, they didn't have anything to wash with, they didn't have any toothpaste. And every morning, this teacher had pants and soap and would send her to the bathroom and get her clean. And so she followed what her environment was. She got pregnant at 15, but there was something about education that kept calling her, bringing her. And she didn't think, because she lived in poverty, she lived in a part of London where these people were considered nothing. And there was no programs that were there to help, because the government took all those programs away. They took all of them away, so there was no help. And one day she decided that her son, she had to have a better life for him. And she accomplished it. She's now one of the teaching professors at one of the colleges over universities in London. And she has written a book, and it's called Poverty. I do remember that much. And I'm like, wow, isn't that something? And it is truly amazing, and just some profound things that are happening. Now, when we talk about the divine feminine rising up, and that has nothing to do with gender at all. It has to do with the energy. When you look at a beautiful flower, you see both the masculine and the feminine that's reflecting in there. It took both to produce this beauty that you cannot explain. And so it's the same with us when we are making these accomplishments with our new moon ideas and continuing, or we're continuing in what we have started. It's like I said, you got the green light. On the green light, we know. Red light means stop, hold on, wait a minute. Yellow, caution, you can still go, but you better make sure you're getting ready to stop. Green, you got the full empowerment, the backing to say, go, 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 go. Don't stop. I mean, even with the inception of this YouTube that Chrissy has brought together so quickly, and that Aries fire in there, it's go do it. And I'm like, I'm tagging right in. Yep, I'm willing, because I'm willing. I'm willing, and in my second house, mine is in Leo. Isn't that
Hey,
amazing?
I'm going to bring up a chart real quick, Deb. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've been trying to do this for a minute so we can see what you're talking about. So just give me a second to present this chart.
Okay.
There we go. I'm trying to make it small enough to fit onto the chart, and also big enough. So, guys, if you can kind of see what Deb is talking about, if you look up in the top right-hand corner, you'll be able to kind of see, or at the top of the page, it looks like a little circle with a little arc on it like that. That is the Taurus. So when we're talking about the new moon, if you look over there, and you'll see like the little moon symbol, and it looks like you'll see a number 28 below it, and then the Taurus. That is basically what is happening around this astrological wheel. So if you look at the different houses, because I'd like for us to take a minute, because I know that some of us might be getting a little confused when she's talking about Cancer and talking about the new moon and the Taurus. And it's like, well, what does this all mean? What does this all mean? So on this wheel, this is basically what the skies are going to look like when the new moon happens on Friday. So if you look at this line over here on the left, this is our ascendant sign, and you see like a little X there, and then you'll see like a little hook thing. That is Aries. I mean, that is Leo. That is Leo. We have just come out of our Aries, if you can kind of see that up there at the top, and it's located in the 9th house. Right now, Taurus has got a lot going on. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get any more expansive than that. I mean, we have the new moon. We obviously have the sun. The sun sign is what sign you are born in. Usually that is where the sun is going to be located. Right beside that is going to be Uranus. And then beside that, you will see that you have Mercury, which is also in Taurus. We have the North Node, which is also in Taurus. And we have Jupiter, which is also in Taurus. So basically what this is saying is Jupiter is in Taurus. That means that anything that Jupiter is in is going to expand. Taurus is the bull. Taurus is nature. Taurus is our first earth sign. So it's going to expand anything to do with earth. A lot of stuff is going to be expanding in our food. Where are we getting our food from? What is more natural? Getting away from all this bunch of technology, because Taurus is the earth. Taurus is our first earth sign. It wants us to expand what is natural within us. So if we look at this chart, Deb, I don't know if you can see it right now. It looks like the new moon is going to be in Taurus at 28 degrees in the 10th house. So what does that say for us?
With it being in the 10th house, it belongs to Capricorn. And simply, again, the focus on all of it has to do with what we are valuing. And again, because of those two communication vehicles that are in there, Mercury and Uranus, what we're thinking, what we're communicating, what's the narratives and what we are listening to, what we're saying out of our mouths, and realizing how much power our words have. So the expansiveness to me is in the communication, because both are there, Mercury and Uranus. And again, Uranus is that suddenlies, and again, with Jupiter having an exaggeration side of it as well, it's giving us heads up to say move, but at the same time, you got to know that a lot of things are exaggerated, as well as that's the lower frequency. But when you got it in the higher frequency, then everything is expansive. It's a good expansive. So it's almost like going through a portal to that next place, that you have considered what your vision is, what your purpose is. It's giving us to go ahead, but just saying, be mindful that you don't keep leaning to the intellect that has all this reasoning in it. And you can't avoid it at the same time, but you can bring a balance in with it when we are using the creative, that brilliant intelligence, the divine feminine and the masculine coming together to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish.
When I'm looking at this chart here, I also see Mercury is pretty close to the midheaven, which is the mid center. So you'll see that denoted by the MC that is on the chart, right below the Taurus symbol that is closest to the top of the wheel. And anytime that we see Mercury a little bit closer to the midheaven, that means that whatever is there with it is going to be expanded. It is going to allow us to be the closest to that which we are. And so I just feel like it's trying to push us into being just a little bit more natural. And I love the fact that, you know, the Scorpio full moon and new moon that we had, it got rid of all that yuckiness, you know, and especially it was like intensified with the eclipse. So now that we've gotten rid of all the yuckiness, it's like, all right, now that we have a clean foundation, what are you wanting to do as we have stepped into the age of Aquarius and we have all these energetic planetary energies guiding us to be more of our authentic self, and really asking us to take a look at different aspects of our life using astrology in order to help navigate our lives and during this time.
Yes. Beautifully said, ma'am. That's all I can say to that. It's a very eventful time.
So if someone doesn't have, so if you were to ask somebody, or somebody was like, well, what does this mean for me? I'm thinking that maybe that means for us, do we need to take a look at where Taurus is in our chart? So if Taurus if Taurus is in our fourth house, would that mean something different than if Taurus was located in our eighth house? Is this how we need to kind of look at this? I'm trying to give some information for people that may not know a whole lot about astrology, and just give them little pinpoints. I got this chart off of Astro Dash
Yes.
or a hyphen Seek. You need to put in your birth date and also where you were born and the time if you know it. And then you will be able to see where Taurus is in your chart. Is that what advice you would give to people?
Yes, you can if you know what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I try to make it pretty much as practical as possible, because you get the greater benefit when you do put the entire information in there, and then your birth chart comes up. Do you know what you're looking at?
Exactly.
I mean, there's so much the information that you can go online that will certainly help you to understand what it is. That's why I pretty much speak from a collective perspective, because yes, we are individuals. However, there's so much collectively energy that's going on, and learning from it to be the collective as we speak. Yes, what the individuals have to do, because all of us are individual Taurans. When we look at it the whole, we are all Aries. We are all
Yeah.
on and on. We are all part of the 12. So knowing where you fall individually, the majority of the time, like you said, it's just becoming aware and consciousness of it, because before you did the feng shui, you were already feng shui.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of what we will find out about ourselves, these are things that we do on a daily basis. It's just actually fine tuning it. So individually, yes, but it's hard to just focus. And I know when most astrologers, what they call the horoscopes, and they do a general all the way around. The zodiac signs, so that people will have an overall. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, when you have your birth chart done, and you can, again, because a lot of mine has been self study, as I said, the
Mm-hmm.
first part of learning astrology, I went through Deborah Silverman's classes. And then from there, I started the self-developing. So do I have my chart that's available? I know what's in mine. I know how to compare it, and learning just the basics. If you just learn the basic, and that's what I do when people come to me as individuals, I do the basic, and it takes about 2 hours to sit down
Yeah.
to do it, but it's well worth it. And you can just learn it from there. So individually, I would say if what does that have to do with the Taurus? Individually, the economics, the material, the physical. What does it have to do with Aries? We still have that self actualization, walking in the I am. The Gemini, what are you thinking during this time? It has a lot to do with thinking, and because Gemini, its ruling planet is in Taurus, so the thinking will be impacted big time. Then you've got Cancer. We are the ones who feel. What are you feeling at this particular time? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Don't let your emotions override, but go with that strong feeling. That's that intuition. Go with it, and read the room. Don't be bossy, those things like that, because that's me. Then you move on to Leo. And Leo is the willingness, it's the actor, it's the performer, it's the one, and it's about the heart. They love from the heart. You can't beat Leos in their loving. So come straight from the heart. Then when you go to Virgo, Virgo is our day to day. What are you considering in your day to day? And it's about healing, it's nutrition as well when it comes to Virgo. Then when you move on to Libra, Libra has to do with our balancing, our partnerships. It has to also do with justice and all these things that are happening. What are we doing to become better in our relationships? The communication, each one that I'm saying has to do with how are we communicating? Mm-hmm. What are we communicating to one another? Then from Libra, then you go to Scorpio. Scorpio, it has to do with the deep down, those things that are hidden. What do you have hidden? What secret are you holding? Find someone that you can trust to talk to. It's the precision. It's getting down to, it's the transformation, the rebirth. Then from Scorpio, you got Capricorn. That's our work. What am I enjoying? What am I doing? Do I need to change jobs? Do I need to stay here? Am I satisfied? What am I going to do? Then from there, then you've got Capricorn. Then you got Pisces. Pisces is all about the art. It's our spiritual. It's the most spiritual zodiac. Mm-hmm. Then come on in and bring some more spirituality in it. It also has to do with those things that we are addicted to. Is there anything, the mind, all those things in consideration? What are we communicating there? And then from there, it starts all over again. So that is
we forgot Sagittarius and Aquarius.
Did I skip there? Probably.
Yeah, you skipped those. Sagittarius
and Aquarius. Okay.
Don't leave anybody out.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Sagittarius is our beliefs. That is, of course, with Sagittarius and Jupiter, that's the ruling planet for it. Sagittarius is our beliefs, it's religion, it's the big things, it's the professors, it's the universities, and it's all about learning. And then Aquarius, was that the other one that I missed?
Yeah.
Okay. Girl, I thought I was doing so good. I was like, look at
you. Are doing good. You are doing good.
I am. I'm not denying there, but I just do it. Look, I just knew I had them all.
This is how I know we're doing good. This is how I know we're doing good.
I feel as though I heard it all. But anyway, Aquarius. Aquarius is all about I know. It is about networking. It is about technology. What are you thinking about technology? How are you using it? Are you overusing it? Are you using it in the amount of time and giving yourself the brief? Are you going to contact Chrissy so you can get the EFT, is that what it's called? The little bracelet?
EMF bracelet.
EMF, yep, see, EFT, that's a technique. Tapping. So anyway, yes, Aquarius. So Aquarius, we know. And I actually said to myself this morning in regards to we know, I said, you have to keep the ING on there because there's just so much that's expanding and we just can't continue to think in a box and that there's nothing beyond that box because there's plenty beyond that box. So going beyond that we're used to, stepping out and have the courage to do it because it does take courage, but we can do it and we are doing it. So I do want to give us credit for what we are doing.
Yeah, if I look at where I was a year ago, I never would have thought I would be doing this, and I'm so proud of us. But folks, I know that we get together with Deborah every couple of weeks, and she talks about some different things that are going on in the heavens. If you would like to have a personalized birth chart, and I know that we showed one up here, and it has a lot of symbols and things like that on there, and you can go to Cafe Astrology, or you can go to AstroSeek and put in your information and click on the various aspects of it. But if you want something that's just a little bit more personalized and something that allows you to kind of get an intuitive message from somebody in order to interpret your personalized birth chart, Deborah is a fantastic resource that we have in our area. And you will find her information below her name there. I have her email address, and it's also going to be in the description as well. So you can find her at rrobin, is that 11 at bellsouth.net?
12.
12, sorry,
12.
12.
Said 11.
And she's a Cancer. All right. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. Is there anything else that you would like to share this afternoon?
I did write this down, and I wanted to say, when we are balanced, you have truly blended the cosmic and the earthing, and that's what makes them whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The cosmic is that divine intelligence, and then the earthling part is the material. So bringing the material and the physical together, because we are the physical. We're the physical. And when we bring those things together, everything else is material. Bringing those things in to know the true value of them both and enjoying this beautiful planet that we've been given by the greatest source there is, that we call God, or whatever name you have, life, lover, all those beautiful things. And I just like calling God the lover of my soul.
Oh, thank you so much, Deborah. Everybody, if you have liked this video, please make sure that you like it. If you find benefit to the information that was shared today, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you are notified whenever Nine Lives Energy posts new content. Again, on Mondays, we're doing our theme of the week. Tuesday, Thursday, we are working out together. Those times will change based upon my schedule. Wednesday is going to be WOOS Day. Friday, please check out for Fit Fam. I might be doing live videos then, or I might just have a collective reel on my Instagram page of the people that I interact with during the week as we work out together. And of course, Jinko is going to be posting Catter Days with Jinko. If you need more cat videos to make you happy and start your day with a smile, please make sure you check out his story on Instagram with Catter Days with Jinko. He's a little bit more active on there, so you can see him on his daily walks, the uncut, edited version. And you can also see him doing his many different tricks like peeing in the toilet. All right. Thank you, guys. You have a wonderful day. Thanks, Deborah. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.
Thanks.